Fentanyl is a narcotic, a controlled substance that is used to treat pain. However, there is a high risk of dependency when using it. It can cause respiratory distress and death when taken in high doses. Fentanyl was created by Dr. Paul Janssen in 1959 as an intravenous surgical analgesic. It is 100 times more potent than morphine, and it is really never used outside of an operating room unless it is doctor prescribed. However, it's mixed, and on the streets, it's being combined with other drugs like heroin and cocaine. It can come in all forms and colors, liquids and pills, and again, they're combining it. Just a gram can cost between $25 to $200. You can't die from touching it. A lot of people have assumed that. And you can't die from just being around it, like in the same room as it, and breathing. You can't die that way. It has to be digested according to the FDA. So I ran across this story earlier, and I'd like to share it with you now. And I had decided to look a little bit more into it, but I would never be able to scratch the surface about this story at all. This is out of Spotsylvania, Virginia. Around 12:47 p.m., a 911 call had came in. A baby girl at the residence of Venison Drive wasn't breathing. Within minutes, emergency workers were on the scene and attempting life-saving measures. The 9-month-old baby was rushed to the local hospital in critical condition before being flown to the VCU Children's Hospital in Richmond. That's where she would die 2 days later. There was fentanyl in the baby's system. On December 1st, the mother of the deceased child had dropped the baby off with 2 other children. A 4th child had tested positive that was also in that home, but for cocaine that child had in its system. A search warrant was executed in that home, and there was marijuana and multiple narcotics that was seized. The grandmother, IIona C. Forster, 49, and the aunt, Stephanie Diomande, 35. They have been charged with multiple offenses such as Class 4 child abuse, possession and intent to distribute, giving false information, and an active warrant in another county, in addition to felony murder, which carries a 40-year sentence. The women do have different charges. They're slightly the same, and the link is in the description box if you just want to know exactly what their charges are. Both women are being held at the Rappahannock Regional Jail. The grandmother actually was looking to sit for other children in her home where her granddaughter passed. So I don't know if she had an unlicensed daycare there or what, but unfortunately, we've had a baby die from this, and a baby that has a drug in its system. So if you are familiar with any of my videos, you know that I look around social media in the comments on pages to try to gather up as much information as I can. And I think I did come across the baby's name. I think her name is Skylar Rain. The mother of this child, they don't say her name in any of the articles that I've read, so I decided not to say her name as well. She does have a TikTok page, and it's very easy to find her. I didn't really want to put videos of the child up. I normally do that, but I just didn't want to do it this time. The mother is suffering. I imagine the father of this child is too, but I was reading a lot of the public comments that the mother had posted, and I mean, I'm pretty sure she's going through hell right now. And the fact that her baby didn't die because she was sick, the baby died in a home with family. So that's a hard pill to swallow. No pun intended, but to know that this is what happened to your child. So I do want to say my condolences to the family of everybody that loved Skylar Rain. And I always say justice. And definitely justice. I don't care if this is the grandmother and the aunt. Justice for this baby. I just briefly ran across all these children that had passed away from fentanyl. It like never stops. There was at one moment where a lot of celebrities were passing away from fentanyl, and still are, but now we have our babies and our very young children dying of fentanyl. The kids that I'm about to mention now, some of them had got a hold of it through their parents distributing it, babysitters having it, even a mother that willingly gave it to her child to quiet the child, a daycare center, an Airbnb, even allegedly a park that the baby had got this fentanyl from. Each child that I'm going to tell you about, the link is in the description box if you just want to know a little bit more about it. But it's a sad situation that these little people are not here anymore from a drug that's supposed to be used to treat chronic pain, but yet, like so many others, it's abused now to get people high. And it's just very sad. Kamrynn Vanmeter, 1 year old, out of Kentucky. ZaiAhna Bogle, 7 months, out of Pennsylvania. Enora Lavenir, 19 months, out of Florida. Zhuri Paul, 1, out of Baton Rouge. Phoenix Castro, 3 months, out of California. Acelynn Staton-Contreras, 4, out of Colorado. Kanye Champelle, 12, out of Ohio. Jose Hernandez, 13, out of Colorado. Darwin Santana Gonzalez, 1, out of New York. Elijah Lewis, 5, out of Massachusetts. Jareen Smith, 8 months, out of Detroit. Kimberly Knox, 9, out of Tennessee. Ariel Rose, 22 months, out of Tennessee. ZaiAhna Reddic, 15 months, out of Michigan. Liam Sauve, 11 months, out of New York. Senna Matkovic, 10 months, out of California. Jeremy Thompson Jr., 7, out of Michigan. Ava Floyd, 18 months, out of Michigan. Mitchell Robinson III, 2, out of Louisiana. Each and every one of these children that I just mentioned, they died of fentanyl. Some of them, believe it or not, more horrific and harsh than the others, but they passed away, and they are not here anymore. Rest in peace.